6 years. I walked in on my wife of 6 years to discover her online cyber texting with another man. A month later she confided with me that she was having an affair with another woman. The man was just one time and another step in this relationship with the other woman. The affair went on for 3 months. She broke off all contact immediately. I am not 100% sure, but I am pretty damn sure nothing is going on since, and I have been keeping my antenna up at all times. I understand the role I played in this situation, and I have been working my ass off trying to improve myself. I had some business issues that really caused me to disconnect with her, and I suffered some depression prior to this situation. I kind of disconnected from my wife and life in general for a while. I am not saying I caused it, but I certainly contributed to this situation. I consider myself a pretty rock-solid guy, but this event has rocked me to my core. I love my wife and make the decision that I would move forward and try to see if we could work this out. It has been the hardest thing I ever done. Okay, so the problem is this. My wife and I have been working at this for a couple of months. Some of this she was way foggy, but lately things seem to be better. We seem to be making progress at times, but it is up and down. A roller coaster. We cannot seem to connect physically anymore. She says she just isn't feeling it yet. She has been doing much better in other things, but in this area, we are not doing so well. Before you ask, I don't have access to her laptop or phone. That is why I went VAR. I thought we were doing better. I have been working hard for months. I am not a doormat by any means, but I have been working on myself and trying to correct things that helped lead us here. I have seen recent signs, a lot of them, that she has been trying to move back to working on our marriage, but she says she just doesn't know if she can recover after this because of the guilt she feels. Some additional background is that I had kind of checked out of the marriage due to some work issues. At the time, I thought it had been one of the most stressful things I had gone through. I look back now and know the work stuff was nothing compared to this. It went on for about 2 years, and I have narrowly averted bankruptcy at my business for now. She had asked me to walk away from my biz and do something else. I didn't listen to her. I don't like quitting, and I also thought I could pull it off. Well, she kind of had to take over all of the house, pets, and all the other household duties by herself for those 2 years. I admit I was kind of a mess, but I was just trying to work through it. I neglected her. She tried to help in different ways, and I think that and some other pretty stressful family issues on her side just got too much for her. At that time, prior to me finding out about the affair, she told me that she wanted to leave. Of course, that was all I needed to come around. Then the discovery of the affair, and bam, our whole lives changed instantly. She has told me recently that I have most all the qualities that she is looking for in a man. She says she has her own issues and that she needs to get herself straight. She also tells me she is finding it nearly impossible to work on herself and the marriage at the same time. It has been the hardest months of my life trying to work through this. Today I think I have snapped. Months of almost no affection and all this crazy crap has taken its toll on me. Today, for the first time, I am questioning what the duck am I doing. No one could possibly do the things she is doing if they love the person. I thought I was doing the right thing. Maybe this is really simple and she has just lost her love for me. 3 months later, my wife is moving out today because the things we have been doing to try and reconnect over the last 6 months have not been working. She had a PIA about 10 months ago and she has never recovered. Please see my other threads for more details. I have been working my back off and nothing has really improved. I am struggling beyond belief. She tells me she is having problems dealing with her physical affair and the fact that it goes against everything she believed in. She thinks maybe it is impossible to get through this and recover. She needs time by herself because staying together has not worked. I understand that because she really has not been doing anything. Previously, I have tried to avoid a separation, but this time when she brought it up, I felt I could not do anything but accept it. What we have been doing or trying to do has not been working. She feels we have to do something different. She has mentioned leaving several times immediately after her physical affair and even left to stay with a girlfriend for a night a couple of times. Each time I have to go through the same pain and emotions, not thinking she would be back. She came back the next day each time. Now she is gone and I have to go through it all again. She says she will be gone for a minimum of 30 days, but I think it is just a soft exit. In our talk last night, she said things that make me think it is not for 30 days and she is just not coming back. She also said things like I just need to be able to be right with myself and love myself again before I can work on the marriage. I think maybe she just wants to run away and have a clean slate. I love her more than anything, but I don't feel there is anything else I can do. Nothing has worked. We just cannot seem to reconnect. I am not doing so well, and I do not want to go home to our empty house tonight. This crap has been going on for a year now and I am exhausted and beat down. I need to take care of myself. She has been in control since the PI. I have been walking on eggshells since then, and that is not me. I just didn't want to make things worse. I love her and think we could make it through this. This is tough. My thought is all over the place. I guess it is just best to let her go and move forward. I feel like to do that I just have to accept it is over now and prepare for it. I can't sit and hope that things are going to magically work out in 30 days once she has had her time alone. That scares me because I may not be available for her if she decides she wants to, or I am disgusted at myself for being such a wimp through this. It is not my nature, and yet it is what I have done. Okay, so my wife left yesterday for what she described as a separation. She is staying at her friend's house indefinitely. She asked to have minimal contact and I agreed. She texted me yesterday after she packed and I didn't reply. She called today to check on me. I answered and she asked me if I was mad. I said no and we had some small talk, nothing unpleasant, and hung up. I do want to try and work this out and remain married to my wife. I love her. I know our old marriage is gone and I am wanting to create a new, better marriage. Now that we are separated, I am not sure what the proper thing to do is. Plan I know. Do I just try to act as if nothing is wrong and remain pleasant? Do I refrain from sharing any feelings when we do talk? As I said earlier, I am not sure if my wife is just looking for a soft exit and the 30 to 60 day separation that we discussed is just the first step towards our divorce. She said she was leaving me a couple of times over the last year since the affair. She never took any of her stuff and ended up coming back the next day. This time she packed a bunch of stuff. Actually, I went through the hardest things during those episodes. I felt crazy, depressed, extreme anxiety. I did a good job of hiding it when she came back, but I was crazy. It still happened and it was some of the worst craps I've ever gone through. Was 165 pounds and dropped to 118 pounds. I think 135 pounds now. Actually, lost hair. It was crazy. Point being is that I feel kind of strange today. I had a hard time when I got home from work yesterday and she was gone. I walked around the house for a while but then shook it off and just went through my normal routine. Today I am not as upset as I thought I would be. I don't feel any need to call her and I am feeling pretty normal. I am just trying to both relax and get my head straight. I kind of made the call to just take this separation as both her trying to get some space to deal with her confusion and guilt of the affair, and secondly, maybe the first step of her leaving and us divorcing. I feel like I have to move forward expecting both of those possibilities so I am covered. As has been my experience so far, I am sure I will be up and down and all over the place at times. I will try to be completely upbeat around my wife if we speak. Still more limbo, I guess. It's hard. I think back before her affair and always thought if my wife cheated on me that would be it. Get out. It's over. Well, when it happened to me, that is not what I did. That is not what I felt. I found that as devastating and hard as this is, I want to get through this. I still love my wife. It does make me angry that I am the one that was cheated on and she needs some space. Really? Is it normal? Typical that the wayward spouse has such a hard time reconnecting with a willing husband? Wife. How long does it take to work through it? It also pisses me off that I have to just wait around. I am working on myself and I agree with the reasons for doing so. I am not perfect and we all need to improve ourselves. It is just nonsensical to me that she is the one that needs to leave and see if she can get herself straight. I know I could just let go now and just accept that she is gone and not coming back. It's been over a year of limbo, so that would almost be easy. I am finding it difficult to plan though and then also leave room for recovery. I am doing alright but extremely conflicted. It is hard to move on and keep a door open for recovery if that option comes back on the table. I am trying to go dark. Unfortunately, we still have to interact at times. I have not nor will I contact her at all. Every contact that has occurred has been initiated by her. I am very determined on this point. I will not contact her. Spuds, I did not spend our whole relationship trying to validate her. That happened after I found out about the affairs. Leading up to that, I had kind of disconnected from her because of my business and all the great things that have been going on with the economy. A big part of why I am here is because I neglected my wife on so many levels. I was a pretty alpha guy until a year ago. After the affair, I have been all over the place. Everything changed, and I became some pathetic version of myself. Working now to get back to my old self with upgrades. Another huge problem is I want to go dark and have a real separation. Earlier, I stated that she works for me. I own a business and she has worked for me for the last years. This has been a big part of the problem. She feels like she lost her life doing everything for me. For the last 2 years I have supported and encouraged her to find another job. She has tried, sometimes more than others, but still has not found something. I think she has been too particular, but whatever. Yay, so my balls are still in her hands because what do I do? Fire her. She left me and I have to come to work today and be with her in this environment. It is crazy. So, this separation is more like torture, I guess. She has several applications out now. I am hoping for the best. So, my wife left last Thursday for a separation initiated by her. The unfortunate issue is I own our business and she is still working for me. Second problem is after several years of her bringing this up and throwing working for me in my face is a big problem. She has not found a new job. She is educated and should be able to find something but has not. So, I have not contacted her since she left and she came to work today. It went okay and she seemed carefree and maybe not happy but not upset either. She worked 5 hours and then went to take care of our pets before I get home so we would not cross paths. How the hell am I supposed to do a 180 in this situation? I did well today, but to keep up this charade indefinitely is probably going to be impossible. I am doing a lot of this for me, so I understand the plan in 180. I am working to improve. Since her affair I have been weak. I am now getting myself back together, but I see a real big problem with this. I did pretty good this weekend. Once again, I do all the work and she just get the benefits of her husband and has to do nothing in return. I love her and want this to work out, but I think this is going to build so much resentment in me that there will be nothing left. Few months later, I have been strong for almost a year now. I have had some bad moments, but now I feel I am on the edge. I am looking over and I am ready to jump. I had the strength to move forward after walking in on her and finding her texting online. I asked her to come clean so we could move forward. She said she did, but she didn't. A month later she had to come to me and ask that I go get tested for STD. I was good, but she didn't get it from the laptop. Sigh. She is fine now, nothing permanent. For months, since last year, she would occasionally bring up that she could not work on herself and the marriage at the same time and wanted to separate for a while. I understand this, but I had tried to avoid a separation as I kind of feel like it is a trial divorce. So, the last time she asked I said okay, if that is what you think you need to do then go ahead. Of course, I told her that I didn't want her to go, but if she felt that strongly about it then I can't stand in your way. The problem is that we work together part of the day during the workday. What the hell kind of separation is this? She was supposed to be looking for a job but has not found anything for the last year. Now I have to come to work and pretend like nothing is going on with the rest of the staff. She still goes by our house when I am not there, because I am working. She takes care of the pets and does laundry and other things. She is gone by the time I get home and goes about her life without me. So, she is half in and half out. She gets the benefits she wants out of the situation and then goes and does whatever the funk she wants. I love her and have been hoping to work things out, but this situation is starting to wear me out completely. I have been trying to hang on, but now I am questioning what am I hanging on for. She had initially said she needed a minimum of 30 days and that will be up soon. I have never said one word about it. She has not said anything about it. My plan was to wait an additional week and then just ask her what her plans are. If she needs more time, I may have to tell her I am done. Like I said, I have been hanging in there since January last year when she first told me the I love you but not in love with you. I need some time crap. Just venting. I am on the edge, folks. Get out the 2x4 and bash away. I love her, although there have been times over the last 12 months when I didn't love who she currently was. She was in the fog for many months. Crazy is the only word that describes the things she said and the way she acted. She is now in withdrawal and has been depressed. It's hard. I had to make sure that I was honest with myself about trying to work this out. I had to keep asking myself if I was trying to work things out for the right reasons. I feel good now that I am holding on because of I love her and because of my commitment for her. It still may not work out. I don't want someone to stay with me that doesn't really love me. Now that we are separated, it has been easier. I don't know if that is good or not. I certainly feel better. I also know if the separation continues for too long that we will only disconnect more and it will be easier to just divorce, so I am torn on what to do. I guess 180 for a couple of weeks. I am still hoping that she will decide she wants to move back home. I am not betting the farm on it, but it is what I hope. The history rewrite has been really hard. It is not as bad now as it was, but man, it has been tough. My wife has totally rewritten our complete life together. It will make you crazy. I just started telling her that that is not the way I remember it. She is doing it less now, but obviously it is still there. She has not turned the corner yet and I don't know if she will. I spent most of yesterday just moving on with my life. Did some healthy me things, which is good. I still can't help but thinking that the path is only leading me further away from wife. I guess that is part of the 180, to get healthy and prepare for life without your spouse. I felt like I was the only one holding us together, and so now that I am just letting things go, I am not so hopeful that things will work out for us. It seems like we are just practicing for divorce, which is not the outcome I was hoping for. In everything I have read, it seems that it was critical that the couple stay together even if they have an in-house separation. Of course, I realize I only control me and my spouse wanted to go, so there is not much I could do. Still, we had agreed to separate for a minimum of 30 to 45 days. That time is up this week. I feel like I want to bring it up, but I also think that goes against the 180. How are you feeling about this? Do you want to continue with the separation? I feel like the 180 plan means that I don't bring it up. I am going to see her today. Do I just not bring it up and wait a couple of weeks more? I know I have brought this up earlier in my thread, but I just want to make sure I am getting this right. We just spoke and she asked me how I was feeling about things. I asked her how she was feeling and she gave me the I asked you first. I gave her my most honest answer. I told her it has been helpful to a point, but that I think if it continues that I will begin to totally disconnect from her for my own survival at some point. I don't see that when one of the major problems in the marriage is that one or both of us have disconnected from each other, that the solution is to separate and disconnect further. I don't see it. She asked if we could speak tonight, so we will be meeting after work to discuss things further. I have no indication of what she is going to say because we are going to speak tonight. I have already told her where I am at, so now I get to wait 10 hours to see what she has to say. I guess 10 more hours is just a drop in the bucket, so I will know where she is later tonight. Update. Okay, so wife and I met last night and she says she wants to move back in next Monday. I am slightly optimistic but also a little flat about it. I wish I could be feeling rainbows and butterflies, but to my own surprise I am not. There is a lot of damage left in the wake of her affairs, and prior to that my disconnecting from her with work. Things have to be different for this to work out and be a better marriage than we had before. There is a lot of heavy lifting that has to be done, and quite honestly, I don't know if she is prepared to do it. I have kind of this problem with the fact that I need her to show some kind of progress before I can fully recommit. I have been burned so many times over the last year that I am still a little unsure about moving forward. It won't work if she doesn't act and do things differently. I am not sure if she has it in her. She brings up intimacy and says that is still a big issue. I agree, but I don't know how to be this intimate guy when I am still kind of struggling with trusting. Also, she said a lot of really horrible things regarding our physical life. So am I expected to be some vision of what she believes she wants? It's tough. As terrible as it sounds, I would be fine with any other woman, but she has kind of torn me up on some things, and the memory of those things does not seem to be going away so quickly for me. I know I can do it, but it requires that she treats me like she wants to be with me, that I am a priority in her life. She has an annual trip that she takes with her girlfriends this weekend and then we'll be back. I did encourage her to go and take the time, relax, but part of me thinks while the marriage is still low on the totem pole, still a lot of me, we really need some we are right now. I love my wife and want it to work out. I am trying to be optimistic, but I cannot reject the reality of my experience through all of this. Since her affairs, I have been battling some trust issues. I have no reason to believe this is anything but married gals getting together and having a girls' weekend to talk, eat, drink wine. I don't think it is going to be girls gone wild, but as I said, my perspective has kind of changed. I am sure she would be moving back in this week if this was not going on. Also, I have known about this for months. I am torn. I do not want to try and control my wife because I am little insecure with this. Not insecure in general, but I also feel like I should just let her go. What the hell can I do anyway? I want her to get it together, and if this helps, I am all for it. I don't know if this is the case, and as I said, I am split on this, but maybe she needs a little time away and knows that when she gets back, she has to commit to working on the relationship. A little break before dealing with everything again. I don't think that is unreasonable, but I don't want to be naive either. I am not seeing her really committed to coming back and working on the marriage for a positive outcome. I could be wrong, and I hope that I am. There is no way for me to tell for sure. I feel like she wants to try one last time, and if it does not work out and we don't get it together, then she can absolve herself of any guilt. Like I said, I don't know crap. I don't know much anymore, it seems. That is my take, because like others have said, why wouldn't she be home now? I understand that it may be possible that she is just preparing herself to come back and wants some time with the girls before the hard work gets started. It is not a party place that they are going, more like a relaxing place. I don't know. I kind of feel like asking her to make sure she is sure. If not, then we should not do it. It would serve no purpose. I am now prepared to walk away. I don't want to screw up a possible recovery, but I am still a little leery about this. So next Monday she is going to move back in and everything will be magically on the right track. I don't think so. I am definitely not engaging her anymore. I think she is confused by this. Recently, she kept coming to me and asking how am I doing. I say I am fine. I don't ask for any help with anything. I don't initiate any affection. I don't share much of anything. I am not cold. I just don't bring things up. I have only called her once during this separation. She has initiated all contact. Also, I have been reconnecting with my hobbies and social life. Occasionally, I will get tagged on FB for at some event and she always asks about it. I just give her the short version. The momentum has changed, but it has mostly changed for me internally. Not because of anything she is doing or not doing. I guess that is the point of the 180. I don't need her validation anymore. It seems that her reaction is a result of me mentally accepting that this marriage may be over. I don't mean that in a negative way, but it is what I had to do to get myself back on track. It feels good. It is definitely a balancing act for me now. I spent a year doing everything I could. Did all the stuff you are not supposed to do. I never doubted my resolve until recently. I actually just kind of let it go and I was starting to feel normal. Good actually. Having said that, I do love my wife more than anything. I really want it to work out. It is confusing. I don't know how to describe where I am at. Anger maybe. One day I am optimistic and the next I am thinking about the last year and I am the BS too. WTF. It has been a roller coaster, but you guys know that. Up down. Here we go again. Let me clear some things up. I know who the woman was. I know how they met. I know how it started. I know where it started. I know when it started. Some of this is based on my first-hand knowledge. Some based on conversations with my wife. Some after reflection and putting things together myself. The guy was a friend of the woman and part of that whole deal. It was the woman's friend. I do not have access to her phone. She has her own account. I have VAR in place and nothing ever came up that wasn't everyday normal stuff. Is it possible the STD came from someone other than the woman who she said she got it from? Of course. Have I thought the woman may have nothing to do with it? Of course. I have often thought that she came up with that story to make it easier for me in her mind. Well, she messed up if that's the case. There are all kinds of possibilities and hypothetical situations that could have taken place. Yes, I handed my wife my balls when this happened. I was caught completely off guard with this. Did a bunch of stuff, and didn't do stuff that I wished I had done. I really wish I would have asked her to leave the first day I had proof. I am just trying to do what is right for myself. She is the one that asked to try one more time. I didn't. I have been almost completely as dark as I can be during this thing since separation. She has initiated almost 100% of the contact. Well, this is the deal. I have already expressed that I don't know where I am at now. Should I even try again? It's a tough decision. Rest assured though that my balls are back in my possession. I said a couple days ago that I may call this whole moving back in thing off. Will I ever know this woman again? She was always completely honest with me before this crazy crap. Will I ever trust her again? Don't know if I can. Doesn't seem possible. I have given it my best effort to this point, even if I have made common mistakes that I now know. I can't go back in time. I am here now. As I have said before, I have been through some crazy tough stuff before, but I have to say this has been the craziest and hardest. At this point I was not going to pursue reconciliation. I thought we were done. Yes, I still love her and would like to try one last time. It is kind of hard considering where I am at. I don't really want to give up my newfound respect for myself. I will take one step at a time and see where it is going. I don't want to sabotage myself if she wants to truly pursue a real reconciliation. I will try to move forward with as much self-respect and determination as possible. One step at a time. If I determine otherwise, I am done. I am tired of being played. I will try to navigate this as best I can, one day at a time. I talked to my wife yesterday. We had a good conversation about what she had been doing this weekend, and I told her what I had been up to. No problem. Then she asks if we were still on for tomorrow, and I said yes. She informed me that she would be coming by to talk, and I said, oh. Okay, there was some awkward silence, and then she asked me if that is what I remembered, and I said I don't remember that way specifically. I thought you were moving back in this Monday. She said she was definitely moving back in this week, but that we had planned to have dinner and talk tonight. I don't remember it that way exactly, but she seemed funny about it afterwards. I told her, you seem like you are pissed off that I don't remember things exactly as you have described them to me. What's up? She then says she is just tired and nothing is wrong. We had some additional small talk and then said goodbye. Wow, it is like we can't even get through a brief conversation. We are now so disconnected. So, it looks like we are going to talk again tonight about things prior to her moving in. I could bring up hours of stuff to talk about, but I am trying to figure out the biggest couple of issues that I think need to be addressed for us to really make a legitimate effort towards reconciliation. We can't do what we have been doing for the last 12 months. It doesn't work. We need to really commit to each other. I feel like I have remained committed for the last 12 months and she has only been half in. Don't know if this counts as an update, but the meeting went okay. I guess. She said that she is moving back on Friday, today. The week has been a roller coaster ride for me. I have not been able to shake the feelings that it is already over. We had a phone conversation that did not go so well on Weds. I expressed to her that this whole situation is really messed up. We are going to try to reconcile, but first, you had to go on a girl-only trip for 4 days. Then we meet and you say that you will move back in 5 more days. What the duck? It has been all I can do to not tell her to forget about it. What's the point? If the roles were reversed, I would be home that day. Something inside me tells me that she just wants to do this so as to absolve herself of the guilt that she feels. My wife really has some problems going on and they seem to be getting worse, not better. She told me that she was going to use this time away to get herself healthy and stop drinking and try to work on her problems. From everything I know, she has not done anything. I know she is struggling internally. She is still a mess. So, this is very strange. I have not heard from her today. No call that, hey, I am moving back in and I can't wait to see you. Nothing. I suppose I will hear from her at some point, but so far nothing. I guess I will just leave work and drive home and I will know when I get there. She still seems indifferent, detached, and I really question her motivations at this point. Well, my wife has been back for almost 2 weeks now. All in all, I think things have gone well mostly. I had written a long post last night and then decided not to post it. I think I really don't know what to post until more time has passed. Things seem to be going in the right direction, but it has appeared that way in the past as well. I don't want to get burned again, so I am just trying to be a good husband and see where it goes. I am discovering that maybe I am a little conflicted. She is certainly not withdrawn like she has been for the last 10 months, and I feel she is really trying to reconnect. I guess it is a process that is going to have to play out. She seems conflicted too, but she also seems committed to work on the marriage. She has shown affection a lot more since she has been back, although we have not been intimate since she has been back or for several months. Well, that's it. I am still feeling good about where I am at. My wife seems to be doing better, although there seems to be a lingering depression that continues, although it does appear that it is waning. Don't know where we are going, but at least things seem to be getting a little better. Also, she told me this morning that she wanted to go to the local St. Patrick's Day event. It is basically a day of drinking and debauchery. I hate to be overly sensitive, but this crap is starting to make me insane. I continue to hang by a thread and she is again going out on another girls-only event. I don't think this is what I was thinking about when I was thinking we were going to move forward with our marriage. I guess I need to bring this up again for the 1,000th time or not. So, move-in was delayed for a girl-only weekend. Night out with the girls last weekend to a bar I have never been to, and now the old St. Patrick's Day event. Men are never invited, although some husbands show up. Apparently just not me. The latest update. I came home from work yesterday and my wife wanted to talk. The sum of our conversation is that she is still incredibly angry with me regarding a specific couple of years when I withdrew from the marriage. She is referring to a period of what I would say was about 18 months. She would argue that it was longer, where I was experiencing some pretty severe depression. I own a business and things have been extremely tough for the last couple of years. The economy really affected our business and apparently took a big toll on me, us as well. During this time, I withdrew from her. I withdrew from pretty much everything. She ended up having to take on more responsibilities at home and at work. I was oblivious of the strain I was putting her through. In retrospect, I am completely ashamed that I allowed this to happen. Depression is a funny thing though. It is a downward spiral and it is hard to get out of the cycle. You don't really recognize that you are getting more and more depressed when it is happening. It just happens. My opinion, I have experienced depression like this once before when I was younger, but this time it was pretty intense. The worst I have ever experienced. I don't use this as an excuse, but it is what happened, and it is very important in understanding our situation and what helped lead us to where we are now. This continued for some time until the day last year when she told me she needed space and time to work on herself. She did not feel the same about me anymore. As strange as it sounds, I feel that on that day when those words were spoken to me, I snapped back into reality. It wasn't that the depression instantly went away, but the fog instantly lifted for me. So, I have been doing great with dealing with the depression and really have got myself together, but then, I was out of the depression cycle. Of course, once I discovered her affairs, it was now the anxiety cycle. So now I was on the anxiety roller coaster. They both sucks. So, during our talk last night, she tells me that she is not a caretaker type person. She said she is still incredibly angry at me for this situation. She presents it as if I intentionally did this. I feel that she does not understand where I was at and how severely depressed I really was. To this day, I don't think she has acknowledged this as having any relevance to our situation. She minimizes it every time I bring it up. I don't use this as an excuse, but it is what happened. I am not proud of it, but I can't go back and change it. I take responsibility for it and I am trying to own it, but I can't change what I have already done. I feel like she has taken this one period of my life and now only looks at me as I was during that time. She goes on to tell me that I asked her to change certain things about herself over the years and that she made a lot of changes. She said she made honest efforts to make some changes in herself. This is true. I did ask her to change some aspects of her personality, but mostly small stuff. She can be kind of cold and hard at times, and mostly I would just present my point of view on certain situations. An example would be something like, don't yell at the waiter. He is just trying to do his job. That's not the best example, but stuff like that. She says at some point she lost herself in trying to please me. So, at some point last year she said, "Duck that. I am just going to worry about myself." The affairs started at that time. This was a really big deal for her as she thought she had to change herself. I never asked her to change. I didn't try to control her. I really feel that I didn't, but she feels otherwise. In talking with her last night, I discovered that this is a huge deal for her. So, she goes on to tell me that she cannot get over her anger because I have not recognized that I put her through these things. I don't agree, but I don't know how to validate her on this issue. I have apologized. I have told her that I am ashamed. I have told her that never intentionally did anything to hurt her. Nothing seems to be enough. I am sincere and I am truly sorry. It seems as if she is keeping some kind of scorecard. She feels this episode went on for 2 to 3 years. I disagree, but if it is what she thinks, what can I do? She minimizes what I have been through regarding her affairs. That makes me extremely angry, frustrated. It seems that she wants me to have to go through this for 2 to 3 years to even the score. She seems that she can't let go of her anger until she feels that I have validated her. I feel that I have, and I am trying to do so every time we speak about it. I feel that she still has no remorse for what she put me through. Crap, I don't even think she really acknowledges it. I asked her to try and understand where I am coming from. I also asked her, what would you do if I did the same thing that you did and I had an affair with another man and another woman? She said we would not be together. Nice double standard. I get it though. By the end of the night last night, I ended up telling her that if you don't believe me, then I don't know what else to do. Maybe we should just go ahead and move on separately. She then tells me that I won't feel this way tomorrow. Today, well, I am conflicted. So sorry for the rambling. Another night with little sleep, so it is hard to put this all together. Oh, and of course I am still sleeping alone. I feel completely trapped and do not see a way out of this. I love my wife, I want this to work, but I am losing all hope. To this day she has never came right out and said I am so sorry for what I did to you. What a horrible thing I did. My comment. You're not going to get anywhere trying to explain your hurt to her because in her mind she is the victim. For your peace of mind and well-being you need to take the next step and file for divorce. You have to knock the two of you out of this limbo. You seem to think divorce is the absolute end. It isn't. It is a way to get her to make a decision, to either join you in or for the two of you to move on with your lives. You can always call off the divorce or even get back together after it goes through. Your wife has chosen a path of self-destruction and she will pull you into her hell if you let her. The way I see it, she has given you no other choice. At the end of the day, you can't work with someone who does not want to work with you. That goes for relationships and business. You agree? Comment down below what you feel down below. Sub and bell and let me get one more story in for you guys today.